I've returned, my dear friends, with the third part in our series dedicated to common rook endings, something that happens quite often in our games. So we need to get as familiar as possible and try to understand and keep the patterns in our memory so that we do not make a mistake and actually we go to win a bit more frequent than losing or drawing. So, in this position, I know that we've discussed in the previous episode about the fact that the rook belongs behind the pawn, right? Which is a very good statement, and in most of the cases, indeed, it does. But in this situation here, not don't just rush to play the rook on b8, thinking that maybe that's how you actually provide the maximum support for the pawn, because you might be losing sight of the fact that the white king is one step away from the b file. All right, that's the column belonging to the pawn. So when you do the rook b8, they may very well respond with king to c2. And you can't push the pawn because if you do so, white actually attacks it twice with the rook, and the king is right there on c2. So actually you're going to be losing the pawn and you're going to be drawing. It's not going to work. Or if you say, yeah, but if they play king c2, I'm going to play my king, it's still not going to work. All right, it's not going to work. So rook b8, king c2, you're going to play this guy here. It's just not working. King's gonna go right in front of the black pawn. You are not going to make it past the king. Not mentioning there is this very, very flexible white rook that will be checking you from all positions, and this guy is stopped forever. The only way to make sure that your pawn actually does get to successfully promote is to make sure there is no interference coming from the white king, which will be stopped forever in its tracks with a move like rook to c8. Rook to c8 does not allow the king. They can't move on the c file, and they only got the white rook. And now if you say, yeah, but they place the rook right in front of the pawn, right? You would say that perhaps, but then don't forget we have the king that is an attacking piece now, and it's also a protector of the pawn and is an attacker of the rook. So the rook will have to either go backwards, and that allows you to just keep pushing the pawn down the column here, and also advancing the king. So they are absolutely dead here because the white king cannot now step in and help. It's being kept at bay by the black rook. Okay, so keep these details in your mind because you may very well get yourselves into this kind of situations, and I'd like you very much, guys, to win. Now, I think we're going to go for another scenario. So rather than making another video, I think we're going to make a slightly longer video for you, my friends, and for myself, and for everybody else out there loving to understand chess every day a bit more, perhaps. And it's very good. And you guys are going to tell me if you prefer 3-minute videos or 5-minute or 10-minute video or longer. We can adjust the length of the video to your preferences, my dear friends. Okay. In this position, looks like quite hopeless for white, right? Because, if black king manages to get to something like a3 and this, you're just good as dead, right? You would say white is lost. That's it. It's the end of. Not so fast, because there is in exactly in this super hopeless position. Just ask yourselves: is there any? Because obviously you're not going to win here because black is having two pass points. It's not about winning; it's about stalemating. Can you put yourself maybe in a stalemate, which is a draw to the current rules of chess? And all you need to do, if I may say that, is the white rook needs to disappear, and your king mustn't be in check, and your king mustn't be able to move in anywhere, and that would be a stalemate. So how do we achieve that? Well, don't be too fast. I hope you're gonna be having more than a few seconds on your clock, so you can play the wisest move ever in this kind of position. It's not gonna be a rook e2. That kind of hopeful, wishful chess really not gonna be very helpful, because if you do rook to e2, that doesn't mean black rook is gonna take you, so that you are actually in a stalemate, right? Because you're not in check, can't move here because of the rook, can't move here because of the pawn. So don't do rook e2 hoping that your opponent's going to take it. They're not going to take it. So you play rook e2, and they would say, I'm going to play rook f1 though. And what are you going to do then? I mean, what? You move the king out of check? Thank you very much. The black pawn will go to h1, queening, and you're just in deep trouble. That was it. Goodbye. Thank you very much. It's no point in continuing anything. So don't do rook e2. Just think about how exactly are you going to be stalemating the king. Pause the video if you really want to dive deep into this position. If you're a little bit more in a hurry, we'll do it now. No worries. Well, first thing first, we got to play something like forcing, right? So we're going to check this guy. And now if the king moves over to c3, well, you're going to check them again. You're going to check the king again. If they go back, you're going to check the king again, right? So you're going to do the threefold repetition. Or if the king steps, onto the second rank, of course, they couldn't have move here because it's illegal. The two kings never ever come close to each other. You guys remember? Now, finally, you can give up on the white rook. I know it's counterintuitive, but that saves the game. And you're not losing. You're not winning, but it's a draw. Hey, a draw is better than losing the game, right? So now you can stalemate your own king, you can stalemate yourself, and rook to e2 now checks the king and attacks the rook. So they can't just say they're going to be moving the king away and then you take this guy and things, and then they won't be able to pushing the b2 down the board. No, they will have to take because otherwise they lose, right? So we're going to stop this advanced endgames thing, and after rook to e2, obviously they are forced to capture here, and then where do you go? Where do you go? I don't know what's that thing. I shouldn't have sung that one. There are way better other songs that I should be singing probably. So Rook has to take on e2, and the White King is in a stalemate. All right, folks. Feel free to share the video. You know, friends or people that love to learn chess, and see you guys on some future live stream or maybe the next video. Like it, comment, yada yada, the things, subscribe, etc. And that'd be helpful for me as a YouTube chess coach creator. And I'll see you guys with more chess videos. Tell me what exactly would you like maybe to having analyzed, or maybe your own games. Email me some games, copy paste during the live stream in the chat box, and I'm gonna look at that one. My pleasure. Take care of yourselves, guys, and see you soon.